Star Trek Starfleet Academy just launched with 2 episodes that completely redefine what it means to rebuild hope in a galaxy scarred by catastrophe. We're about to explore everything that has happened in the first 2 episodes while examining what these events set up for the rest of the season, revealing why Starfleet Academy represents both a return to Star Trek's optimistic roots and a bold evolution of its storytelling possibilities. Here's everything that has happened so far and what to expect from Star Trek's newest chapter. The series opens on the grim Federation outpost of Pikaru. And because this location immediately shows us just how deeply the burn scarred the galaxy, we see a world where hope has become a luxury that few can afford. Young Caleb Meir shares a quiet, intimate moment with his mother as they whisper about someday traveling to Earth, creating a dream that feels both precious and impossibly distant. Their conversation reveals the kind of desperate optimism that defines people living in the aftermath of civilizational collapse, where even basic survival requires constant struggle. The illusion of safety shatters when Ra, a notorious Klingon pirate, is revealed to have been luring starving civilians with stolen Starfleet supplies in a scheme that collapses when everyone is caught. After a Starfleet officer is killed in the chaos that follows, the consequences become severe and permanent rather than simply disappointing. Nra is sentenced to prison. Caleb's mother is sent to a rehabilitation colony, and Caleb himself is placed under Federation care, creating a family separation that will drive his character development throughout the series. The sentencing scene reveals crucial character dynamics that will define the entire show. And since Nra laughs through his verdict while urging Caleb to nurture his anger, we see how trauma can be weaponized by those who want to perpetuate cycles of violence and resentment. Caleb's mother's desperate warning never to trust Starfleet creates the internal conflict that will define his relationship with the Academy. The 15-year time jump reveals how childhood trauma can calcify into adult dysfunction. And since Caleb has accumulated a long criminal record while never stopping his search for his mother, we see how unresolved grief can drive people to make increasingly desperate choices. His brief escape from the shuttle bound for a Torthian penal colony demonstrates both his resourcefulness and his single-minded obsession with finding the one person who represented love and safety in his chaotic world. The fact that Caleb's hack into the system reveals no trace of his mother creates the perfect setup for his eventual recruitment to Starfleet Academy. His skills and determination are exactly what the Federation needs, even as his anger and mistrust make him a challenging candidate. Admiral Vance's recruitment of Captain Ock provides the philosophical foundation for everything that follows. He arrives with ice cream in an appeal to restore the Federation's compromised ideals, establishing that rebuilding civilization requires both practical leadership and emotional intelligence. The revelation that they've located Caleb Meir provides Ak with the personal motivation she needs to accept this challenging assignment. And since her failure to connect with young Caleb has haunted her for 15 years, the opportunity to try again transforms a professional duty into a personal mission. This connection between Ak and Caleb creates the emotional core that will drive both characters' development throughout the series. Caleb's recruitment scene aboard the Torthian prison transport demonstrates how second chances must be offered even to those who seem least likely to accept them. Ak's offer to help him find his mother in exchange for Academy attendance gives Caleb something he wants more than freedom itself. We see how effective motivation requires understanding that people truly value rather than what institutions think they should want. The USS Athena represents everything ambitious about this new approach to Starfleet Academy. The massive, constantly buzzing vessel serves as a mobile academy that can bring education and training directly to where it's needed most. The ship itself becomes a symbol of how institutions can adapt to serve people, rather than requiring people to adapt to serve institutions. Cadet Master Lura Tuz' immediate confrontation with Caleb establishes the disciplinary structure that will challenge his anti-authority instincts. And since she assigns him to latrine duty as a way of asserting institutional control, we see how even well-intentioned organizations can default to punishment-based approaches that may not be effective for trauma survivors. Her firm authority creates necessary boundaries while also setting up conflicts that will force both characters to grow and adapt. The introduction of the cadet ensemble reveals the diverse perspectives and backgrounds that will enrich the Academy experience. As each character brings unique challenges and strengths, the group dynamic becomes a microcosm of the Federation's broader diversity. Jaden Craig's dream of becoming a doctor, despite being Klingon, challenges stereotypes while creating opportunities for character development that explore how individuals can transcend cultural expectations. Sam's role as Starfleet's first holographic cadet introduces fascinating questions about consciousness, identity, and the belonging that Star Trek has always excelled at exploring. Her social awkwardness, combined with genuine enthusiasm, makes her immediately endearing. Caleb's attempt to tamper with the communications array reveals how his obsession with finding his mother continues to drive poor decision-making. Genesis catches him in the act, as we see how his secretive behavior creates the very isolation he's trying to escape. The Venari R pirate attack transforms the Academy from a safe learning environment into a crisis situation that tests everyone's character under pressure. The pirates cripple the ship with a programmable matter that floods the corridors, as the cadets must immediately apply their training in life-or-death circumstances. Sam's decision to literally illuminate the darkened corridors creates what the analysis correctly identifies as a quintessentially Star Trek moment. Her unique abilities allow her to provide light in both literal and metaphorical darkness. New Bra's revelation as the pirate leader creates a direct connection to Caleb's traumatic past. His theatrical threat involving an origami chicken demonstrates his flair for psychological manipulation. As we see how villains can use personal knowledge to create maximum emotional impact. His admission that he tracked the ship through Caleb's failed attempt to contact his mother forces Caleb to confront how his actions have consequences that extend beyond his own life. The team's response to the crisis reveals how effective leadership emerges organically when people focus on solving problems rather than asserting authority. And since each cadet contributes their unique skills, Jaden's medical training, Darham's willingness to risk a suitless spacewalk, Sam's technical assistance, we see how diversity of talents creates resilience that no individual could achieve alone. If you're excited to see how Star Trek Starfleet Academy continues to blend personal character development with classic Trek themes of exploration, diversity, and hope, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We'll be covering every episode as the series explores what it means to rebuild idealism in a galaxy that has learned to survive through compromise. Caleb's algorithm that rewrites the programmable matter to free the ship demonstrates how his criminal skills can be redirected toward heroic purposes. His technical expertise becomes the key to everyone's survival, giving us a look at how the Academy's mission involves helping people transform their capabilities rather than simply suppressing their problematic behaviors. His success in this crisis provides the first evidence that he might be able to find belonging and purpose within Starfleet's structure. Ock's strategy of tricking the pirates into retreating by faking a warp core breach shows how experience and tactical thinking can overcome superior firepower. Her willingness to risk her own life to protect the cadets establishes her credibility as someone who leads by example rather than just giving orders. The arrival at Earth and the San Francisco campus provides the emotional payoff that makes all the struggles worthwhile. Even Caleb can't hide his amazement at seeing the Academy's historic home. Chancellor Ock's address about valuing the smallest threads that hold society together uses a tapestry metaphor to frame the rebuilt Academy as something fragile but interconnected. We understand that every character's growth contributes to the larger project of civilizational renewal. Her emphasis on the uncertain years after the burn reminds everyone that their work takes place in a context where failure could mean the end of everything they're trying to preserve. The xenobiology class, with its self-reproducing almond hats, provides the perfect example of how Star Trek can blend scientific wonder with character development. The cadets are now responsible for keeping these semi-aware creatures alive. As we see how the Academy teaches responsibility through hands-on experience rather than abstract lectures. The Doctor's unfiltered teaching style creates opportunities for both education and comedy, while establishing that learning happens best in environments where curiosity is encouraged. The tension between Starfleet Academy and the neighboring War College represents one of the series' most important thematic conflicts. And since Commander Kelch's rigid militarized approach contrasts sharply with Ock's informal, barefoot leadership style, we see how different philosophies about authority and education can create institutional friction, even when both sides want to serve the Federation. This rivalry will likely provide ongoing dramatic tension while exploring questions about how societies balance security needs with idealistic values. Timma's role as President Sadal's daughter, who can sense Caleb's interest in her, creates both romantic possibilities and diplomatic complications. Her request for a campus tour gives Caleb access to stellar cartography. The discovery of Gojavi asteroid behind Batazid's defensive barrier provides Caleb with the lead he's been seeking about his mother's whereabouts. And since this information comes through his developing relationship with Timma, we see how trust and cooperation can achieve goals that isolation and deception cannot. The underground aquarium scene with Earth's humpback whales creates a moment of wonder that connects to Star Trek's environmental themes. Both Caleb and Timma bond over feeling trapped by their circumstances, while the whales become a symbol of both captivity and the possibility of freedom. Ock's proposal to rebuild the Federation's seat of power on Batazid itself, rather than restoring Earth's centrality, represents the kind of innovative thinking that could reshape galactic politics. This suggestion addresses Batazid's concerns about autonomy while acknowledging their importance to the Federation's future. The success of this approach validates the Academy's emphasis on exploration and cooperation over military force. The series' setup for future episodes suggests that we can expect continued exploration of how personal growth intersects with institutional change. Each character's individual journey contributes to the larger project of rebuilding the Federation's idealistic mission. As the Academy becomes a laboratory for testing whether hope and cooperation can triumph over fear and division. The fact that Caleb now has a concrete lead about his mother's location, while also finding belonging within the Academy, creates the perfect foundation for ongoing character development. The relationship dynamics established in these first 2 episodes promise rich storytelling possibilities. And since the series has successfully balanced individual character arcs with ensemble dynamics, we can expect future episodes to continue exploring how diverse perspectives and backgrounds strengthen rather than weaken collaborative efforts. The romantic subplot between Caleb and Timma, now complicated by her enrollment at the War College, will likely provide ongoing dramatic tension while exploring themes about how personal relationships survive institutional differences. Star Trek Starfleet Academy has established itself as a series that honors the franchise's optimistic vision while acknowledging the real challenges of rebuilding trust and hope after catastrophic loss. The first 2 episodes successfully balance character development with action sequences, philosophical exploration with emotional resonance. Hopefully, we can expect the rest of the season to continue this sophisticated approach to storytelling. The series proves that Star Trek's idealistic vision remains relevant and inspiring, even in contexts where cynicism and pragmatism seem more realistic. As we look ahead to future episodes, the foundation laid in these opening installments suggests that we'll see continued exploration of how individuals can find belonging and purpose within institutions that are themselves struggling to define their identity and mission. If you want to stay updated on every development as Star Trek Starfleet Academy continues to explore what it means to rebuild hope in a galaxy that has learned to survive through compromise, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. And let me know in the comments what aspects of the series you're most excited to see develop. The personal relationships, the galactic politics, or the ongoing project of proving that idealism can triumph over cynicism when people are willing to work together toward common goals.